Hello everyone, I'm Kalen North and welcome back to Terra Invicta. Today we're starting part 11 of our Protectorate run. We last time managed to make some progress on Luna, progress in the European Union, we turned a counselor, and today we're going to be doing a little more of all of that, more or less. We're going to try and get Spain back into the EU, or not into the EU, save it from leaving the EU. And then we're going to also work on trying to eventually get Italy back in, as well as the Baltic states, and join in probably Norway, which I don't believe was in there to begin with, but can join the EU. So we will work on that. And otherwise, first things we need to do is get our CP a little bit back under control. I'm thinking I want to go ahead and abandon the Northern Balkan states and this random control point in Finland that we have only one of, not on Crackdown. Reason being that those ones will be unified relatively soon, but we kind of want to prioritize them a little lower than something like the Czech Republic that's much closer to unification. So I'm going to go ahead and abandon those two, get ourselves back a lot closer to our cap of 290. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at orgs with our counselors. I think we did this last time. None of these are too super impressive. Olympus Laboratories is actually kind of nice, as is Ontario's Industries. Maybe we didn't look at these last time. I thought we did, but are we full up on capacity though? So we can't take any. Not quite. So we'll go ahead and probably equip those on. I'm going to have Anjor take Olympus Laboratories, get the extra science. And then Antares Industries, I'm going to go and equip to, I think, to Yoyi, of all people. We don't really need any of the other ones. Antares will be nice for getting a little bit of extra cash flow and a nice boost to the economy priority. That'll be really useful as we run more and more economy in the main EU itself. I also want to check, it looks like Udantika's ready to level up, so I'm going to go ahead and give her another point of administration. That'll be good for helping us with our cap a little bit. It gets us from the red down into the white. And otherwise, I think we should be good to go. I can dismiss these notifications and we will start working on our missions again. So I'm going to start with Madeline. I really want to purge the executive control point in Spain. We've got very good odds of doing so, even with the defend interests up. Sort of the advantage of getting someone up to 19 espionage. But we also have a huge boost from popular support, from other control points, from the legislature, and from the servants being over their control point cap. So we're going to go ahead and try and take that point. Anjor, this turn, we could have him, let's see, where was he last time? He was, I think he was working on Xenoflora, actually, which we'll probably have him do that again, actually. Go to Myanmar and clean up some Xenoflora there. Yoyi, we're running a little behind in the public campaign battle in Spain. So I'm kind of tempted to do that, but otherwise I could have her start trying to work on a crackdown in Italy or possibly in Hungary. Hungary is a good target. I don't know why they haven't left the EU yet. Humanity First does not like us, but we could certainly try and take that one and work on getting it unified in. So I'm gonna see what Udantika's odds of purge are there. Not great. But decent. If Yoyi can run a crackdown, the question becomes, are they going to try and put up defend interest this turn? I don't remember if they'd been running defend interests regularly there or not. So I might have Yoyi go and actually just do a set policy mission because Poland is ready for unification, or almost ready for unification. It should be ready next turn. Let's see. Was anyone else quite ready to actually unify in? We've got a number of candidates. The Czech Republic, Romania, Finland, Northern Balkan states, Bulgaria, and Slovakia. Czech Republic is not quite there. Slovakia is not quite there. Finland wasn't quite there. Northern Balkan states wasn't quite there. I think we're just going to focus on Hungary for now. So I will have Yoyi go and actually run a public campaign in Hungary, while Urantika goes and runs a crackdown on the legislature point. With crackdown, even if they do fortify it, she's got pretty good odds of getting it. So I'm going to put in a couple of influence just in case they do defend interests. And then Eric, I'm going to have actually start working on. I think we failed a bunch of hostile takeovers on Glenn Robertson. We wanted to get that Palatine private investigations to try and equip to one of our investigation-based counselors. I could try to take it again, pump in a little bit of money, give that a try, and see if that works. So we'll go do that, and then run time. We're still waiting on boost a little bit and space materials in order to try and further expand on Luna and Mars. Alright, we succeeded that time, so we can get Palatine. And let's see here. So we took the org. I do want to take a quick look at the unassigned orgs now. I'd like to equip that to Urantika or to Yoyi, but I don't think we can yet, because I don't think either of them has capacity. Yeah, because I put Antares Industries on Yoyi. She doesn't quite have capacity. So we're going to just hold on to Palatine for a little while, and we'll go ahead and add that in later on.
We've neutralized their key people.
All right, we got the crackdown before the... Oh, and Russia conquered Ukraine. That's unfortunate. Game-wise, that's fine. Just, yeah. Anyway.
We've moved the
get a little more public support in Hungary. Our turned counselor did a crackdown on the servants in Iraq. That's great. Hokkaido Independence Movement. That's kind of cool. I don't think we're going to try and do anything with that. But these independence movements could be pretty useful at some point. We just aren't to that point yet. So, looks like we got rid of some of the xenoflora, xenofauna in Myanmar, but not a ton. So that's going to remain for someone else to deal with, I guess. And let's see how the purge in Spain goes. We got it. Excellent. We'll change priorities back to all mission control. And we are over cap again, but I think I'm going to just let that sit for now because we're only about 10 over, and we are going to be getting a nice boost from absorbing some more nations in a moment here. Institutional outreach is done. That's good. We get some more orgs available in the marketplace. Sort by category here. I want to take a look at... We're waiting on global command structure. Should be done in about another turn in mid-May. And we want probably... We really want construction module, but we haven't unlocked that one yet. That's still... We're still one global tech away from getting that. We could... I think we could go for management research here, but that's probably a bad idea. I think it's going to be more relevant to try and actually get some of these labs built. The Xenology lab is probably the most urgent one, because it gives us a nice bonus to alien detection, which we want to do. It's also not something we're really planning to use right away, and so I'm torn a little bit as to whether that actually makes sense. Arrival markets would give us more orgs, potentially. Strategic lobbying isn't too interesting. We could start working on things like space dock and start getting shipbuilding stuff going. But I think I'd rather work on the labs. So I'm going to work on Xenology Lab. I'm going to leave that as 1 pip. And we'll go from there. Humanity First failed to purge targeting Greece. That's okay. All right. India ended its alliance with Spain. Yo-Yi wants us to go into China. I don't want to go into China. We don't have the CP cap for it yet. All right, so now Poland should be fully ready for unification. So we're gonna have, I'm gonna have Andor go ahead and run set policy in the EU to, oops, selecting the wrong thing, in the EU in order to unify Poland in.
Standing by.
Czech Republic is very close. They should finish up soon. Northern Balkan states a little further away. Slovakia a little further away. A lot of these countries are getting very close, but not quite there yet. Looks like Romania is actually ready as well. They might have already been ready last turn and I just missed it. So we will grab Romania, we will grab Poland. So I'm gonna have Yo-Yi as well run set national policy in the EU to unify both of those countries in. Just double check Romania and Poland are both on the list. Yes, they are. And then Bulgaria. Bulgaria is getting close, but isn't there yet. Greece is a little further away. All right, so looks like we had our Crackdown in Chad expire, so I'm going to go ahead and let that one go back onto Crackdown. I'm going to abandon it for now. Keep ourselves a little closer to cap, but still pretty high above it, unfortunately. We could potentially run an abandoned mission or an abandoned nation in somewhere like Sweden, where they're a little further away. That would get us back under cap. But I think we can get away with it for another turn. So I'm just gonna let it go.
Acknowledged.
Madeline, I want to take out. Well, let's start with Udantika. Udantika, I want to run a purge mission in Hungary, take that legislature point from Humanity First.
Where do you need
Madeline, I'd really like to take the rest of Spain, so try and purge the mass media point. Odds are a lot lower now that we took out some of their CP cap overage, but we should be fine. I can pump in 4 influence, get pretty good odds.
power?
Eric, we succeeded in that hostile takeover, so I'm not going to worry about trying to do another one. I think, Eric, I want to actually just run either Republic campaign somewhere, or possibly even something like Defend Interests. We could start running Defend Interests in the European Union in order to keep it very safe. We don't want to lose any of those control points pretty much ever. But the other thing we could do with Eric is we could just go and start taking control of random nations and work on improving them as best we can. Looks like there aren't a lot of unoccupied nations anymore. Madagascar might be a fun one. I think they had a decent science score, at least earlier on, although it looks like that's been tanked. So we'll have Eric take Madagascar. Go ahead and work on improving their status a little bit. And with that, I do want to check, let's see, we're at 21.9 boost. I'd kind of like to go check Luna quick. See if we want to go ahead and claim another colony. I was looking at D'Alembert Crater and Tycho Crater a little bit for having more volatiles as well as a good amount of base metals. This is mostly appealing because we want to stay on the moon to get these ridiculous fissile deposits that we already have. But right now we are negative about 1.6 volatiles a month, and so getting something like D'Alembert Crater would be really good. On the flip side, if we just wait for Mars, the site we have saved on Mars, where is it, Olympus Mons, has 23.2 volatiles a month. So if we can just save up to actually run, to get a mining complex there, that would be huge. But it is still going to take the better part of a year to get it, whereas Luna, we could get it much quicker. So I think there is some benefit in trying to colonize Luna further. I'm gonna go ahead and launch outpost to D'Alembert Crater and an outpost to Tycho Crater at the cost of some boost. It's not too bad. It's only 3.9 boost to do that, but that'll get us a nice amount of materials still. Although actually looking at it, Mare Imbrium might be better than Tycho, It's got a little bit less volatiles, but it has way more fissiles. And that's the real reason we want to be taking these spots on the moon. So I'll definitely take D'Alembert. And I want to deploy... I can't afford the or outpost mining collector there. Hopefully we get enough base metals soon here to pay for that. But I am going to go ahead and get a solar collector set up. That's pretty cheap. With a little bit of metals and a little bit of base and a little bit of noble metals. So that's good. And then we'll get that outpost mining complex as soon as we can. For the second one, I am gonna take Mare Imbrium. The fissiles are more important long term. And again, we just want to get volatiles positive to try and get our boost going back up. So that's going to be, I think, the priority here. So we'll go to Mare Imbrium. I'm going to launch or put a solar collector down. Costs me some more metals, but that's fine. We're saving up metals at this point now for outpost mining complexes, and once our second outpost mining complex on Shackleton turns on, we're going to have a lot more stuff coming in. And that's going to happen June 19th, so just about 3 turns from now. Hopping back to Earth. Hopping over to Europe. Looks like we already set all of our missions, so I'm going to go ahead and let those run. And see how things go. Advised mission in Brazil. What was... Oh, we finished our fission pile on Mars. Very nice. So that'll be good to go once we eventually get a mining complex up there.
I am humbled to have been chosen for this once-in-a-lifetime experience. The things they can do up here are simply incredible. Their studies on the long-term effects of microgravity are fascinating, while the strides being made in combustion could revolutionize energy production back on Earth. Chancellor Li Qingzhao comments while visiting the International Space Station.
Alright, so this gets us stuff we don't care about too much. Australia independence we don't care about too much. Photonic computing is a little more interesting if memory serves. It leads to some cool technologies. I think, if memory serves, civilian photonic computing and global listening network are both pretty useful. Global listening network, I don't remember exactly what they do, but I believe that was a useful one. So we will run time, see how projects go. Got a spaceflight program in Azerbaijan. That's cool. Russia has declared war on Mozambique. That's weird, but okay. Yeah, they're at war with Belize and Mozambique, probably because we're in those countries and they're pissed off at us, but it still makes no sense, so that's fine.
Mission complete.
Alright, European Union, we're going to unify. I believe Poland was the first one we wanted to unify in. Yep, they've got 8 mission control. They're just running funding. So we want to unify Poland. And there we go. And then... So that's getting that a little bit better. So EU is still running economy, welfare, knowledge, a little bit of funding and mission control. Generally pretty strong there. And then I believe the second one we're going to try and unify in was Romania, because we should get that option in just a moment here.
Policy direction complete.
Unification with Romania. And there we go. So now the EU is spreading out for even further. We got a few more countries to take, but we should get there sooner rather than later. And global command structure finished. Excellent. Our CP cap just jumped by 25. So that's wonderful. We're going to be doing much, much better with that now. Also, with consolidating Europe, we're going to be freeing up a bunch of cap, and so we're going to have too much. We're going to have more than we know what to do with. I think I'm going to have arrival markets be our next target, actually, just to really get that org marketplace as thorough as possible. I know we're sort of filling up on orgs, and so that may not be. Maybe that isn't the best option then because of that. Yeah, we are filling up on orgs a little bit. Let's go ahead and work on some more labs. I want to do the energy lab, I think. I'm going to turn the priority down on that. I'd kind of like to try and take photonic computing back, take that slot back, and just control all 3 slots at this point, but I'm not sure that we actually can. And so for the time being, well, we control 2 slots pretty clearly. I think I'm just gonna pump 3 pips into each of our projects and just let that go for now.
We've gained significant support.
All right, and Madagascar we took. I'm gonna change the balance to be running. Let's see. We want to run economy, we want to run welfare, and we want to run funding. So we'll see if that helps improve things a little bit for them. Run time.
Control here.
All right, we took a point in Hungary. We want to switch everything to mission control. They are almost. They're doing pretty well on their mission control right now. Humanity First has been running reasonable priorities. I think anyway. Although the fact that they're running boost makes me think that they've possibly been wasting some resources, but that's okay.
Our people have taken control.
And we have full control of Spain back. We'll let the cooldown on that work. We're going to just work on mission control. I think we are at 320 out of 316 now, so we've already eaten up the extra cap that we just got back. It looks like actually Portugal is ready for unification. I think I missed that. Although maybe it was within the last month, so I wasn't paying quite close enough attention. So we'll probably try and unify Portugal in here momentarily. I'm thinking about trying to abandon another set of control points somewhere, just to get back down to 316. Madagascar and Mozambique would be perfect candidates for that. That'll help us out a little bit. So we will abandon Madagascar. We will abandon Mozambique. I suppose Mozambique, we took the philosophy of just running funding and not running anything else. I could copy that in Madagascar. Use that while they're on Crackdown to try and build them up a little bit for later on when we hopefully can try and unify Africa, or at least portions of it. Otherwise, we'll run the rest of the turn. Project Exodus failed a purge mission on Hungary. That makes sense. We did have them on Crackdown, so. Some new orgs are available. So let's go take a look at what's in this. Let's take a look at what's here. All right, so we got a bunch of new things. Gemini Metals is kind of interesting. It gives us a boost to our space output, our space mining output. It does cost 7 boost though, which is really a lot right now. Scylla Security isn't very interesting. Coral Works would be kind of nice for the extra research. And the rest of these, I think, are not too enthusing. If we could clear up some space on Madeline, Ares Syndicate would be nice. Polaris Investments would be really nice on someone who's a little lower on administration. So Anjor or Yoyi, for example. I think I'm going to go ahead and put that one on, let's see. I'm going to put that one onto Yoyi. Give her the extra administration. So now she's at 15 out of 19. And then we could take one or more of these other ones. I think I do want to take Coral Works and equip it to her. Get that extra project bonus. I don't remember if we talked about the extra project bonus. That's this plus 15% over here to our projects. We're getting that from having 3 extra engineering, or we have 4 engineering projects total. So 3 of them are giving a plus 5% bonus each. The first one is unlocking this project in the middle. We'll hopefully be boosting that way up in the near future, or not near future, but in the future when we spread out into space a little bit more. Otherwise, we could take Constellation Laboratories, not the most interesting. Primula Instruments, I think we looked at before, and I wasn't thrilled with. I think the rest of these I'm going to not worry about right now. We'll go ahead and save those and save our space for other things. I do actually want Yoyi to equip Palatine, though. Because I want to get her investigation score up a little more usable, a little higher. So we will equip that to her now that she has room for it. And is anyone ready to level up? Andor's close, but no one's quite there. All right. With that, supporters in Uruguay, I don't really care that much. I don't think we're going to go there for right now. But for the moment, I think we want to go and finish up Europe as best we can. So Madeline, I'm going to have run a purge mission on Humanity First in Hungary. She's got pretty good odds. Even if they run a defend interests, she'll still probably succeed. I'm going to put a couple influence in just to make sure.
Terminating the opposition.
I don't know why they haven't done defend interests there yet, but it must just be a low priority for them. I don't know why they've got that. And I mean, they have defend interests on this random point in Italy, for example, so it is what it is. Anjor, we were going to set national policy again in the European Union.
On my way to the capital.
We're going to unify Portugal in. It looks like the Czech Republic is also ready, so Yoyi can set national policy there as well.
Time to make our move.
Northern Balkan states are close, but not there. Same with Slovakia. Oh, they're running just spoils now? That's unfortunate. Oh well. Couple more countries to check. See who's almost ready. No one's quite there yet. So we will run those 2. We'll unify in the Czech Republic. We'll unify in Portugal. And then, let's see, Udantika, I want to start working on Italy, I think. We could do something potentially with the Southern Balkan states as well, but Italy is a much bigger country, and we should hopefully have the cap to hold it in the near future. So I'm going to have her start trying to run crackdowns in Italy, which, oh goodness, that's poor odds. Maybe we need to run some public support in Italy first. Yeah, we need to run some public support in Italy. So Udantika, we will run a public campaign in Italy.
We'll make our
And Eric, same thing, public campaign in Italy. We'll do that rather than trying to take random nations right now. And with that, we'll move on with the turn. I think we should be getting, so I believe it was early or mid-June we were going to be getting our second mining complex up, which will be really nice to have. Looks like the initiative's trying to get some public support in the EU. Xenology Lab we've got done now. I'm going to have that project switch over to the Information Science Lab.
We've moved the needle.
All right, we got some nice support in Italy.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
And another
We'll be
nice
ready
chunk
for
of
new
support in
orders
Italy. So we're now the most popular faction there, which is good. We'll keep running that and then try and take those control points when we can. Reconquest of the desert. We can make Patagonia independent. We're gonna not worry about that for now. Crackdown mission attempt.
Policy direction complete.
Alright, so we want to unify, and I wanted to unify... Oh, Portugal's not ready yet. That's right, we still have it on cooldown. That was my mistake. We can do the Czech Republic, though. Czech Republic is ready. So we will unify with Czech Republic. Get a little more cohesion in Europe there. And then... I might just, since we already ran the Unify mission, I'm tempted to just pull one of these countries in, even though we didn't quite finish all of their mission control. We're sitting quite pretty at 117 mission control right now, and so that's really good already. But let's see here. Well, we'll let it run.
Mission complete.
So we can unify with Bulgaria, Finland, the Northern Balkan states, or Slovakia. So Bulgaria is pretty close to getting their last point. I believe some of the progress is carried over when we unify, and so that'll actually give a bonus to the EU for finishing up some mission control. So it's not like all of those points are going to be wasted. Similarly, Finland, I think, was at 5 out of 6 and had pretty good progress. The Northern Balkan states were at 5 out of 6 and had not quite as good progress, but still pretty close. And Slovakia is the least progressed. I'm gonna unify Slovakia in at this point because I ran the mission anyway, and I probably shouldn't have, but this will be fine. We'll lose out on some of that mission control potentially. We can eventually get it back. We are running mission control in the main EU. But this will free up a bunch of CP for us to do other things with. So we'll unify with Slovakia. And there we go. So that's running pretty well. I think I'm still happy with the priorities we're running in the European Union. And we've finished Energy Lab. So now let's go for Military Science Lab. Looks like we're still dominating the left and right technologies here. We don't have the center one, but that's okay.
We've removed some threats.
And we've taken Hungary. So we will copy across the mission control priority. Just work on that exclusively and continue on. We lost the legislature point in Finland. That's unfortunate. So Finland was very close to unification. Maybe we should have unified them in instead. Oh well. They're going to finish up their point pretty soon here regardless, so we'll just need to try and take that back. See if we can stop them from seizing the executive. Northern Balkan states, we lost a point. Also unfortunate. We'll see if we can seize those back. And we aren't going to need to put them on crackdown if we do seize them back because we have lots of cap available. Russia has declared rivalry with Madagascar because, of course, it has. Portugal's and the US of A have ended their alliance. I want to take Urantika and run a purge mission on one of those that we just lost. Probably, it looks like Finland has a 66% chance and we only have 55% of the Northern Balkan states. So I'll have her go there, pump in a few influence. Hopefully they don't fortify it. If they do, it's fine. We just waste the mission. Madeline can run a purge mission on Humanity First over here. I will put in a few influence so that even if they do fortify, we've still got pretty good odds.
Targeting the opposition.
Standing by.
Portugal is 11 days away on its cooldown. We want to... what do we want to do here?
Ready to go.
I think I want to run... I want to run some public campaigns in Italy, I think, here. Keep on working on getting our popularity up there so that we can start fighting our way into it. And continue to keep an eye on everywhere that's finishing up its mission control. Hopefully they do sooner rather than later so we can unify them in. So I'm going to have Yoyi go ahead and run a public campaign in Italy. We'll give her a little bit of money so that she has better odds. Eric, same thing, public campaign in Italy. And Anjor...
Ready to go.
I think Anjor is also going to run a public campaign in Italy. We'll give him a little bit of money to boost that odds. Boost those odds. With that... we don't have enough boost yet, I think, or metals to go and start throwing more mining complexes out onto Luna. So I'm going to just, with that, just hit confirm assignments and keep going. We got Information Science Lab. At this point, it might be worth doing augmented learning. Getting that extra 5% knowledge to help the EU continue to build up in science. We could also go for some more space buildings. Space dock and supply depot are mildly useful. Space dock especially, because we can launch probes from places where we have space docks. So, well, let's go for space dock. Then I guess we're still waiting on industrialization of space to get that construction module. 10 Hygeia. I don't know where that is, but that's a low number, and so that's probably getting a little closer than I'm comfortable with. Yeah, they're getting into the asteroid belt. Well, hopefully they don't take Ceres. Ceres is a great one for us to hold on to. But let's keep running time. Alright, D'Alembert Crater and Imbrium on Luna both have bases now. I do want to run outpost mining complexes as soon as I can, but I think that that's going to be a lot faster once we get to 10 base metals. But we've got the sites reserved for now, so that's good. Less good is that it's probably eating up more volatiles, yeah. More volatiles and more water. So hopefully that mining complex finishes soon. Yep, Alien Devastation on 10 Hygeia.
The people will come to our side.
A little more popularity in Italy.
Causes unjustified to them.
Failure in Italy.
Come to our side.
A little more success in Italy, so that's good. We are still fairly popular in the European Union, so that's good. Military Science Lab. Let's see, are there any other labs that we have right now? Did we do... No, we didn't do Social Science Lab, so we'll get that one.
We are in control now.
Alright, Northern Balkan states we took back. We'll reassign that to mission control and funding. Looks like they did not fortify in Finland, so hopefully we just take that one in a moment here.
People have taken control.
Excellent. And same thing, we'll set our priorities back to what we want them, or to where we want them. Failure from Matthew Zaborowski, our turned agent, which is fine. We don't need them to be succeeding at anything right now. Northern Balkan states and the United States have ended their alliance. Yeah, more alliance is ending. Org Marketplace is updated. Huzzah. Aliens are becoming more popular in Myanmar. We could go and investigate there, try and see if we can find an alien to talk to. Alright, so Jaeger Corps, not very interesting. Free Federation of Industrial Workers. That's kind of cool, and that gives a nice bonus to administration as well as a persuasion boost. That might be good on Anjor, actually, just because we've been using him for persuasion missions a lot, and he could probably use the extra persuasion. We don't have room on Eric for it. We could unequip something and put it on him, but I don't really want to try and mess with that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Free Federation of Industrial Workers, equip it to Anjor. And that actually frees him up to get some more things. We could take the Theta Fund, we could take Constellation Laboratories, the 1st U.S. Special Forces Group. That's kind of interesting, actually. Get him a little more command. Constellation Laboratories is also kind of interesting because his science score is starting to get fairly high. Getting it up to 10 could be useful. I believe there's a bonus we get every 5 points of science towards unlocking projects that have only a finite chance to unlock as opposed to being guaranteed. The monthly income isn't too big. The 10% energy research is kind of cool, though. I think... And then there's the Gruz Trust, which would get us some knowledge. I don't... As much as I want to be able to run knowledge, I don't think I'm ready to invest a bunch into it. I kind of want to take Constellation Laboratories. His command score is already decent, and we're not really doing a lot of command missions right now. Oh, and we can level him up, so let's give him another point of administration while we're doing this, see if that changes anything. Oh, he can take MI6! I don't want him to take MI6. It's not too useful for him. Those are his 2 worst stats, and we're not really having him run missions with those. On the other hand, if we could find a way to fit that onto Urantika, it'd be really nice. We could unequip something like Rigel Metals and equip that to someone else. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Or Sapphire Products. I think Rigel Metals is a little cheaper to re-equip. So we'll unequip Rigel Metals from Urantika. We'll equip that to... what the heck, we'll put it on Madeline. And then Urantika needs 1 more spot open, so Sapphire Products we will move. And we'll equip that to... I think I want to equip that to Anjor. And then Urantika can get MI6. So she'll run the Central Intelligence Agency and Secret Service MI6. Secret Intelligence Service MI6. So that'll be great. But I'm pretty happy with that one. I think it's going to be really nice to get her investigation to 20 and espionage to 13. It is going to cost us some money, but we're doing a lot better on money now than we were earlier. So, with that, I'm going to go back to Anjor, and I think I was still waffling between Constellation Laboratories and the 1st U.S. Special Forces Group. I want to take Constellation Laboratories. I want the 10% energy research bonus, and I want to get Anjor's science score up to 10. So we'll go ahead and do that. Otherwise, Yoyi has room for an org. Neither of these is really appealing right now. So I'm not going to bother to equip her with anything, save room for later. And I don't think anyone can level up right now. So we're going to just move on. Take a glance at the techs. We're almost done with biotechnology, which is good. Industrialization of space, we're a little further on, but we'll get there. And I think with that, we'll go ahead and confirm or figure out what our assignments are for the turn. EU is, I think, still pretty safe. We want to unify in some countries. Portugal should be eligible now. We can do Portugal, Finland, the Northern Balkan states, and Bulgaria. Northern Balkan states is close, but not quite there. Bulgaria might hit it this turn, but I don't wanna risk it. And then Finland, same thing. It's probably gonna hit it this turn, but I'm only gonna run one mission of that, I think. So we'll have Yoyi go and set policy in the EU.
On my way to the capital.
I'll have Anjor
Ready
go
for
and
my
run
mission.
public campaign in
Reporting in.
Italy.
Making
He's
our
got much
case.
better odds now with that extra 2 persuasion.
Service.
Eric, we will run a public campaign in Italy.
I will try to sway the public.
Urantika, can we run a purge in Italy with any chance? Not really. We can run a crackdown with decent odds. I think I'm going to go and hit humanity first here. I'd rather hit the servants than humanity first, probably. Let's see. Corporations gives a bonus to orgs. This gives a bonus to public campaign missions, which is nice. And this gives us a bonus to hitting the executive with a purge mission. So we do want to take this one eventually. Let's actually take a quick look at Madeline. Her purge chances, she's got better odds of a purge against the legislature point. So I'm going to have Madeline just take a gamble on a purge mission, I think. We'll pump in 16 influence. We've got plenty of influence right now just to get her up to 52% odds.
Removing our enemies.
And then we'll have Udantika go ahead and run a crackdown on this mass media point. Pump in 8 influence, I think. Yeah, get it to 80%.
Pressure on their people.
And see what we can do with that. Hopefully those public campaigns help a little bit. And then we'll unify Portugal into the EU. Iran has protection now. The servants built a station orbiting Earth. Interesting. All right, so we got a new outpost mining complex at Shackleton Crater. That's great. That's going to get us a bunch of water, a bunch more metals. So now we are positive on water. We're only negative on volatiles, and we're going to hopefully fix that in the near future here. I do want to take a quick look at our other bases. Not Mir Tranquilitatis. I want to take a look at D'Alembert Crater, because that's the one where I'd really like to get a mining complex up if I can. And we still don't have enough boost / space materials, but we're now getting half of a base metal a day, or half a unit of base metals a day. So that's really good. We should, in about 4 days, check it back again and see if we, once we break 10, see if we can go and get a much cheaper mining complex up there. Running time again. Aliens are on Callisto. That's fine. Moons of Jupiter we're not going to worry about for now.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Get some public campaign
They let them
success
clean
there.
Or cook or restock supplies. If they're eating my food, sleeping in my beds, and using my latrines, they'll damn well have to work for it. Chairman Soren van Wyk during labor negotiations regarding diamond miners' families.
Yeah, the initiative's weird. So that's a thing. We finished biotechnology, so now I want to get cybernetics, I think. Because cybernetic implants are awesome for boosting all of our counselors. I don't think there's anything else that's super urgent. Orbitals and settlement habs would be really nice to get in the near future, but I really want to finish up getting our stuff done with Mars first, with getting a construction module unlocked. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here that's really... I don't think there's anything else that's super urgent. I'd rather do cybernetics over pretty much anything else on here. So we will do that. We finished the social science lab. So we will go ahead and run... I'm gonna run... Goodness, I don't know what I'm gonna run. Maybe arrival markets at this point. We're doing good on orgs though, so that's a lot less appealing. We could start running management research, if nothing else. Or interplanetary warships. That's a good one to start at least. We'll start on that, so that we actually can build ships eventually. But it's not urgent. Space dock is finished, so that's also good for ships. I'm gonna go for the solid core fission reactor so that we can start getting some drives.
We've hit them where it hurts.
Alright, we got the crackdown on humanity first in Italy. And we got cracked down on in Spain. Interesting.
Policy direction complete.
Alright, European Union is going to unify with Portugal. Just double checking. Yeah, Portugal's at 6 out of 6. It's just running funding, so we will go ahead and unify. Close that down. So now European Union is continuing to grow. Oh, and we passed that 10 metal threshold that I was mentioning. I forgot to go and jump back to Luna when that happened. So we will go and take a look at that now. I wanted to look at, not Tycho Crater, D'Alembert Crater. And I wanted to try and build an outpost mining complex, which I can do now for 4.9 boost and 10 metal. So that's great. We'll do that, build in space, and continue on Earth. When we get up to 10 metal again, we'll set up another mining colony on the moon and then expand out to Mars. We've got one more mission going. Madeline's going to try a purge on the legislature in Italy. She didn't have great odds of it. Another station in Callisto. We lost a point in Greece. Interesting. That's okay for now.
Our associates are now in charge.
Alright, so we got a critical success actually in
Wrapping up
Italy.
here.
So now we are in Italy. We can change our priority to run all mission control. Italy's at 9 out of 14. So that's actually not bad. So we'll do mission control there, and we're gonna try and take the rest of the points there as soon as we can. We'll be working on the executive next, as well as this mass media point. I'm not too worried about kicking the servants out of the corporations point yet. I'll do it as soon as I can, but it's sort of my lowest priority. They're not running spoils to ruin the country, and they're running some weird priorities with economy and unity and boost, but none of that's going to hurt us too much. So we'll keep running time, see if we lose any more control points. Doesn't look like it. Alright, the United States has ended its alliance with Greece. We can buy the Ares Syndicate. I think we already could. We didn't want to get that though, because Madeline's the only one who can equip it, and she can't afford it. She doesn't have room for it. Otherwise, no one's ready to level up. We'll go back into this and start trying to take countries back. How close are we? Hungary's not that close. Northern Balkan states is going to finish its mission control momentarily, so we can go ahead and unify them into the EU. So I'll have Yoyi run set national policy.
Heading to the capital.
Finland has finished its mission control, so we can unify them into the EU. So I'm going to have Anjor go and set national policy in the EU.
Time to make our move.
Sweden is getting close. I'm going to just change their priorities to run a little bit of funding and mostly mission control. And let's see, we said Hungary was a little ways away. Bulgaria. Oh, Bulgaria is ready to unify as well. So I'm gonna have Eric go and set national policy in the EU. So we're gonna try and unify 3 countries in this turn.
Ready for my mission.
Meanwhile, we did lose that control point in Greece, which is not ideal, but I think, let's see, they're at 5 out of 6. So I actually want to change this to 3 pips, mission control, 1 pip funding. And they're 12 days away from consolidating executive control, so I would really like to take that back. Oh, I do not want to run a coup. I'm going to have Madeline... I'm going to have Madeline try to take the point in Greece back. She's got pretty good odds. I'll pump in 2 influence just in case they try to fortify it.
Terminating the opposition.
And then I'm going to have Udantika go ahead and purge that Humanity First control point in Italy. And we will work on the executive next turn. So we'll take the mass media point.
Removing our enemies.
And run time. Revolution in Mozambique, so that's okay. We weren't doing a good job of taking care of them anyway. So we got solid core fission drives. Liquid hydrogen containment is kind of a useful one. I like that one. It gives a nice boost to exhaust velocity. Molybdenum pipe radiator. Oh, that's okay. So we could just work on getting spaceship parts that are relatively cheap right now. I'll go for liquid hydrogen containment. Again, we're not going to like build spaceships just yet. Well, now we can, or we can build warships. And I think I'm going to go ahead and invest in. I'm going to invest in the augmented learning tech, actually, right now, because I do want to be pumping knowledge, and I think we've got enough other stuff going on. We have few enough other projects that we urgently need that we can just have 1 slot dedicated to them. I'm even going to actually turn down the amount of resources I'm pumping into that one and just focus on augmented learning for now. It's still going to take us half a year to research it, but that's fine. Alien Fleet Victor 12 arrives in low Earth orbit. See if that one crashes. I don't think it will. It looks like that's a different kind of...
I remind you, the Lord said, shall the axe boast over him who hews with it? Or the saw magnify itself against him who wields it? It is our destiny, our right, to embrace the marvels he has seen fit to provide us. The enemy would have you believe this is playing God, but nay. We are taking dominion of our world and claiming our rightful place at his right hand. Superior Judith Howell, Xenobaptist Sermon.
I don't know what the Night of Cleansing Flame is. It doesn't sound good. Also, Xenobaptist is an interesting name for a religion. But anyway, the servants are kind of weird. There's a reason we're not playing as them and we're playing as the Protectorate instead. But now we've got a couple of projects that can unlock from that. It looks like the Academy has us going for advanced neural networks next. Transnational coordination, I believe, gives us a nice boost to CP, so that'll be good to unlock. Yeah, neural networks is fine. Skunkworks is also really good. We'll want that at some point. Skunkworks is the one that unlocks this third, is a hab building, so we can build it on our colonies, or settlements rather. And that'll unlock this as well as giving us boosts to all of our projects again. So we will leave that where it is for now. It looks like we're actually leading on this one without having tried at all. We may have enough science now that we're just going to naturally take over all of the points. If I'm wrong on that, then hopefully we can invest a little bit of extra in there. Nope, it looks like we're just dominating these. Probably because we slowed down on liquid hydrogen containment. So that's good.
Mission complete.
All right, unification time, and I believe all 3 of these were ready to go. Finland is good, so we'll unify with Finland.
Mission complete.
The Northern Balkan states is good to go, so we will unify with the Northern Balkan states. And this is hurting our science output a little bit, so we probably want to do some work in the EU to try and improve things there. And then finally,
Mission complete.
unification with Bulgaria. Sorry, that's Hungary. Bulgaria is ready to go, so we will unify with them. And we lost some more science, but that's okay. We should make up for it in the long run here. So the EU their unrest score is going a lot higher now. We'll need to deal with that momentarily. We're probably going to try and work on it by boosting cohesion using the knowledge priority. The economy is actually doing pretty well, so I'm going to remove 2 pips from that. I'm just going to focus on knowledge, especially here. We don't have a huge boost to the knowledge priority, unfortunately, but we have enough of a boost that, but we will get enough out of it that it's going to be really good to have it as our top priority here. Additionally, we're doing pretty well on cash at this point, so I'm going to stop running funding. That was more of an issue earlier when we were sitting negative from our counselors. But I'm pretty happy with that being positive for now. Finally, I think we're good to go in terms of welfare and economy, and I do want to keep running mission control, so I'm going to let those go.
We're in control here.
All right, and we took Greece back, so we'll copy our priorities across, keep working on mission control and funding. And we lost mass media in Spain, so we'll have to purge that back next turn. And oh goodness, do they have a public opinion advantage over us. We should run some public campaigns in Spain. Stop the servants from having nearly that much ability to take it away from us.
Our associates are now in charge.
All right, we took a point in Italy. I want to run just mission control. It looks like everyone wants to run just mission control in Italy. That's fine. We're gonna try and kick out the servants and the resistance here soon. Senegambia, we don't care about that. That's fine. Some new orgs are cropping up, and got some alliances ending. Probably be good to take Norway sooner rather than later. I want to go take a quick look at space because I thought we were going to resolve something here in mid-July, but maybe I'm wrong on that. So I'm going to take a look at Protectorate. I still want to go to Resistance, so used to that from running that recently. Dallenberg Crater is still building, but here we can afford to build another outpost mining complex. We could also take a quick look and see if we can afford an outpost mining complex here, and the answer is no, not quite. So I'm going to focus on the moon still, get another outpost mining complex building. That should help us with our volatiles, and then we will work our way up to Mars from there. So, as far as missions go for this turn, I really want to take Spain back, so I'm going to have Madeline go and target that one. Looks like she can crush it pretty easily. I'll put a couple of influence in just in case they defend it.
We're taking power.
We don't need to run any more unification missions right now. I don't think anyone's even eligible. Oh, Sweden and Greece are eligible. What am I saying? I don't think Sweden and Greece are ready. Greece is getting close, and Sweden is also getting close. But we don't need to do that this turn, so we're going to have everyone go and start running public campaigns in Spain.
We must persuade the people.
Yoyi's going to go to Spain.
We'll make our appeal.
Eric is going to go to
Standing by for
Spain.
orders. Making our case.
And Urantika is... Actually, we can steal a project. What project can we steal? I don't know. But we can apparently steal a project from the Resistance. I don't know if we can check that. We can look at tech that they have. Maybe it's alien... No, Nerva Drive is the eligible... Nerva Drive and Solid Core Fission Reactor 2, I think, are the ones that we can take. That's honestly a little tempting, but we'll wait on that for now, just because I do want to focus on getting Italy under control. So I'm going to try and run a crackdown here in Italy. We can either take out the servants or we can work on the executive. I think I want to work on the executive more. So I'm going to try and run a crackdown. I'll boost it with 8 influence, get it up to above 80%. And then confirm assign. No, I want to check orgs still. Because, goodness, we have a lot of options. This top row looks pretty useless. Nolana Instruments might be kind of nice with the 10% information science research. Achilles Spacecraft gives a nice boost to mission control and military, but we're actually doing pretty well at this point on mission control, so I don't know that we really need the boost anymore. Horologium Technologies would be another 5% boost to our projects, which could be good. Pisces Engineering would be a 10% boost to our projects, as well as some science, so that's like Horologium a little bit on steroids. And Lycurgus Products would give us money per month, as well as economy. I guess the other question then becomes, does anyone have room for anything? And the answer is not really. We could take Horologium Technologies onto Yoyi. Eric's full up. Yeah, we can't really do much else with that. I'm going to have Eric level up his administration stat one more time. We'll probably try to swap out a 1-star org for a 2-star org at some point. Like the Vega Foundation, actually, we could take out right now. We're not doing too much with that. Romulus Strategy Group is actually a little more useful. Isis Minerals, I kind of want to keep that. Cambria Instruments, which is better, Vega Foundation or Cambria Instruments? That's 10 science versus 16 science, and information science versus energy. I'm going to unequip Cambria Instruments. It's a little cheaper to re-equip to someone else. What am I saying? I'll unequip Vega Foundation. And then we can grab one of these 2-star orgs. I think I want to take Pisces Engineering here. So we will purchase that, get the nice double bonus to our org projects, or to our faction projects, rather. And then I'm going to have Yoyi take Horologium to get that additional 5%. And that'll be it for that. Let's confirm assignments, run the turn, see how things go. Australia is being fortified. Don't think we really care all that much.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Alright,
We have moved the needle.
getting some public support in Spain, which is good. Fight back against the servants' domination
We're winning
there.
their hearts and minds. We'll be ready for new orders.
Alright. The other thing we could do here is the unity priority is sometimes not a terrible idea for boosting public support. We would want to get the 3rd control point back before we start doing that. But we could distract from mission control for a little bit and do that if we wanted. Critical success on the resistance in Italy, so that's good. Finished liquid hydrogen containment. I'm going to go ahead and grab the molybdenum pipe radiator. And we are leading on all
We've
techs right now,
removed
so
some
that's good.
threats.
All right,
Prepping
we
for
got
next mission.
we got Spain back. I think I am gonna just put a pip into Unity right now. It's probably a bit of a waste, but it's gonna be nice to get that public opinion back. I'll change that if the servants manage to take another control point back, though. More alliances ending. Anjor really wants me to run defend interests in the European Union. He's probably right at this point. But I think we're relatively well fortified because our council has really high administration scores. So that makes it a lot more difficult for enemies to take control points. Plus, we're fairly popular in the European Union, so that's good. I think last thing I want to do this session before we call it a day is I want to take that executive point in Italy. So I'm going to go ahead and run a crackdown, or not a crackdown, a purge on it with Urantica.
Dominating the opposition.
Madeline, I'm going to have, I think I want Madeline to try and target the servants there. I don't know what her odds are. Not great. I would like to kick them out, though. So we'll pump in 16 influence. We've got
Targeting
plenty
the opposition.
to work with.
Standing by for orders.
So that'll be good. Then Anjor. Probably want to run public support somewhere. Southern Balkan states might be a good place to start working. Work on getting that unified into the EU. Norway would be a good place to start working. Get that unified into the EU. The UK, how is their diplomatic cooldown going? We cannot unify with the EU until March of 2026. So that's a little ways away still. But that's fine. We're still dominating popular support there, so that's good. And there's lots and lots of mission control to build yet, so nothing wrong with the UK right now. The other places to look are, no, we don't have a claim on Belarus. We do have a claim on the Baltic states. So we could start trying to take the Baltic states. They're a little better fortified. I'd really rather finish off Scandinavia, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and have Anjor run public campaign in Scandinavia.
I will tell our story.
I'm going to have Yoyi run a public campaign in... I'll go for the Southern Balkan states, I think. We could go Italy again, but I think Southern Balkan states will be better.
I will try to sway the public.
And Eric can run a public campaign. I'm going to also do it in the Southern Balkan states.
We'll make our appeal.
Run assignments. See if we can finish off Italy. Mobile Space Science Lab can now be built. That's kind of a cool one. It gives a little bonus to space science research and allows prospecting space bodies from interface orbits, which is really cool. So we'll want that eventually. That's going to be useful for trying to... I don't actually know if we'll need it as the Protectorate, because we might not need to spread quite so far into space, but I am probably going to get it anyway at some point in the near future here. Looks like Initiative has a new station orbiting Earth.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Alright, critical success in the Southern Balkan states.
We are winning their hearts and minds.
Success in Norway.
Public opinion is moving
Another success in the Southern Balkan states. Let's see how Madeline and Urantica go.
We are in control now.
Alright, we have the executive. Alright, so Italy is ready for cooldown. Once we consolidate authority, we'll be able to join it back into the EU. They are at 9 out of 14 mission control. I'm going to start allocating a little bit to funding because we are going to be having to wait quite some time on Italy to actually join the EU, and so it's not going to be worth doing just solely mission control. Might as well do some boost as well. They've already got a decent little chunk of boost there, but we can get a little bit more.
We are in control now.
All right, and we got Madeline succeed. So now we have all of Italy under our control, which is great. We're running mission control, boost, and funding. And what's this one over here? Oh, a typhoon in Vietnam. Okay. Civilian Photonic Computing Project. I like this one a lot. Gives control point cap increase of 10 as well as 5% bonus to the economy priority. It's less urgent, perhaps, given that the EU already has a fairly good GDP. And it costs 10,000, so that's a lot. But I'm going to let Augmented Learning finish, and then I might go over to that one in the near future. All right. Otherwise, I think this is a good place to stop for now. More alliances ending. We could go steal the Nerva Drive project from someone potentially. And our crackdown in Greece expired, which put us over cap. We'll deal with that next time. For now, though, we've got a huge amount of Europe under our control. The moon is going well. We've got positive on metals. Actually, before we go, before we fully quit for now, I'm going to take a look here. We can start our outpost mining complex on Mars. It takes 18.5 base metals to bring the boost cost down. So we will do that. It's going to take a year almost to build, but it'll get done. It'll be really useful when it is done. I'm tempted to also build another fission pile. I think I'm going to wait a little bit on that one just because we spent all our base metals. We might be able to get some boost from that. The reason we'd want another fission pile is once we unlock construction modules with industrialization of space, we are going to want to build a construction module on Olympus Mons to really speed up all of our future Martian colonization. But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll call it here for now, and have a great rest of your day, folks. Bye.